Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. As you probably know yourself, in winter there's a little bit less to do when it comes to your indoor bonsai regarding work that you can do on your tree. But for today I have one chore that I'm actually currently doing, and that is repotting or potting up some propagations that I took. You can see them right here. It's a Ficus benjamina, the variegated variety. And today I thought, why not pot them up together with you and as well talk a little bit about this propagation project that I have been going on now for roughly 4 weeks, I would say. So before we actually start potting it up in soil, I would say let's talk a little bit about this propagation and what's going on with it. So let's take a closer look right away and then also move into potting up. So here we are, as I said, a Ficus benjamina. You can see the variegation on the leaves. I do really like this variety, and that's one of the reasons that I took a propagation from it. It is actually not from a finished bonsai I took these propagations, but from a pre-bonsai, so another project I'm working on right now. And as I was cutting that one back, I thought, why not take some of those branches and simply put them in a little bit of water and see if some roots will develop. I was not sure if it would actually work because right now it's cold season here. I wasn't sure if the temperatures are right for it to actually take, because ficus propagates best in slightly higher temperatures. However, as I will show you right now, it did work perfectly. So let me take it out of the cup and let me move the cup away. And you can see this awesome root mass that has actually formed on the tree. It is 3 different branches and all of them have some root mass on it. So here would be the first one with some root mass. Then a very tiny one that is almost a bit tangled up with the other root mass here, but let me try to free it, with also great root. And the tallest and biggest branch actually with the best root mass as well. You can see a lot of roots still already starting to come in here. But I think all 3 are at a point where we can actually pot them in soil. And my plan is to actually pot them together because, of course, sooner or later I want to turn this into a bonsai. And I thought, why not pot them up together like this and maybe have the branches fused together in the future, giving us already a little bit of a head start then, of course, because we will have a nice thick trunk then already forming, or at least thicker than what it is right now, because of course those are 3 very thin sticks at the moment, so long way to go. Very healthy foliage also, and you can see a lot of leaves actually have started to come in now while it was actually propagating, which is also of course a great sign that the trees are healthy, that they are very much taking off already. You have some older ones we've had slight dieback, but nothing to worry about until now. And as it is 3 different and separate trees in here anyway, nothing to worry at the moment. So how are we going to pot them up now actually? So we have here, of course, our little trees. Let me put them off to the side for a bit. And I would simply take a little plastic pot I have from a previously bought tree and fill this with inorganic soil. So I'm really going for an inorganic soil mixture today that is well draining, and pot them in here. What we have to keep in mind, of course, also, these roots have grown completely in water, so we need to make sure we keep them moist, at least for a couple of weeks, very moist, more moist than you would normally do, simply because you're used to that environment. If we put them now in soil and we let that dry through quite a lot from the beginning, that probably would kill the trees because those roots are simply not yet fit for that. So let's prepare our pot, I would say. I already prepared some soil mixture. You can see this is mainly pumice with some clay pebbles also mixed in. I have most of my bonsais by now actually in a similar mixture than that, sometimes with some organic compounds as well, and they're all doing great. So all the trees that I have potted up in this mixture are really doing fine and doing great, and that's also why I'm sticking for now with this mixture, because as I said, my trees seem to really like it. So we take the empty pot, we fill in some of this soil mixture. I would say let's fill it to half, roughly, to give you an idea, half. Then we should start to position our trees actually in here. So just center, I would say, and make sure the roots are spreading out quite nicely. I'm taking not a too shallow pot right now because we're here really at the beginning of the training. So I don't really care that much about creating a radial root mass at the moment yet, because I think we're still too early in the game to really think about that. At the moment, I'm really just trying to have them healthy as possible, so they quickly grow and quickly develop a thicker branch base here. So I would simply stick them in here. Maybe that's a bit too deep still, so we go in again with the soil mixture, adding some, and then we position our trees. As this is mainly inorganic soil, it is actually quite easy to position them, so let me simply take them like this and fill it up. And make sure we move all of this around so all the roots are covered, and also later on when parts of it are drying out, we don't have the problem of actually some of the trees being out of the soil. To be honest, I think I will actually go a bit deeper still, so I'm putting some of the soil back in here. Because, as I said, right now I just want to root it a bit deeper to give it the best and healthiest start into its potted up life, basically. So we move everything around. Make sure they actually fit in here and hold in here. And what I will do definitely is I will tie them together. So we'll look for a bit of wire then and tie them together here still. But for now, we finish potting it up. It's a very big chunk, but we can position it here. That's not a problem. Make sure we have them also straight up here and fill in really to the top. And of course, I won't simply keep it in this little pot. I also have a plastic cover pot in which we can pop this one in, which will catch all the excess water when we water it, and simply have it like this. As I said, quickly I'm gonna get some wire and tie this up. So of course, when we want to wire this, we need to be careful. Those branches are still very, very small and thin, so we need to make sure we don't break them while tying them up. So let me just move this a little bit so I can better access it. We just try to tie them around here, create a little hook, bring the two ends together, once across, and then let's just adjust the height and basically tie them together like this. I don't want to tie it too tightly because, of course, there should be some room for growth before the wire starts to bite, but it needs to be close enough together for it actually to start fusing. So let me give this a little bit of a twist, I think. So just once around here to really tighten that grip of the wire, making sure they hold together. Actually, before it was holding better, so maybe let's redo that and just keep it like this because that was holding way better before, just like this. I will then cut the little wire still and show you then the finished product. So we simply take some garden shears and cut once, turn it a little bit to access it better, and leave some of it on for playroom, and cut it again. So you don't see the wire that much, but it's still holding everything nicely together. And there you go. As you can see, soil all nicely filled out, quite stable in here. Of course, it still will need some time to really settle in this new pot when the roots starting to work their way around this very coarse pumice and the little clay pebbles. But for now, very happy with the result. And there you have it. Finally, my water propagations potted up in soil, in inorganic soil, but nevertheless. And I think a good setup for them to grow nice and strong and grow a thick, nice trunk, and hopefully setting them up for in the future fusing together and then being able to really work on them as a bonsai project. So I will keep you updated on that one, definitely. But for now, I think that's all we can do for these propagations to set them up as best as possible. If you have any questions about water propagations or propagations in general, of course, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hopefully I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.